Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I yield 3 minutes to my good friend, the distinguished gentleman from Arizona and the Vice Chair of the Homeland Security Subcommittee of the Appropriations Committee, Mr. Ciscomani.
Did you hear what just happened on the House floor? This is the kind of moment that should make every American stop and pay attention. Because what Juan Ciscomani just exposed is exactly what's wrong with Washington right now. And trust me, if you've flown recently or care about national security, this affects you. In a heated speech covered by Forbes Breaking News, Congressman Ciscomani stood up and called out what he says is a completely unacceptable situation. A shutdown impacting the Department of Homeland Security. And the people protecting this country, they're not getting paid. Let that sink in.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I yield 3 minutes to my good friend, the distinguished gentleman from Arizona and the Vice Chair of the Homeland Security Subcommittee of the Appropriations Committee, Mr. Ciscomani.
The gentleman from Arizona is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in strong support of my bill, H.R. 8029, the Pay Our Homeland Defenders Act. The name of the bill itself is pretty self-explanatory. As a representative of a district with an international airport, a border with Mexico, many Border Patrol and CBP agents, ICE, HSI, and other Homeland Security personnel, and a state that gets struck by devastating wildfires every single year where FEMA is essential, as well as the Vice Chairman of the Appropriations Subcommittee on Homeland Security, I am proud to lead this legislation to ensure that the men and women who keep our country safe are paid for their service and that we stop putting every single American at risk by funding our agencies responsible for our national security. It's been said here before, this bill was drafted in bipartisan basis with both sides having input on it and both sides making compromises to make sure that this bill passed and that we funded our Department of Homeland Security. What my friends on the other side of the aisle are doing now is backtracking on those same agreements that they made. That's unacceptable. From TSA agents to the countless personnel working behind the scenes to protect our airports and national security, these professionals should never be caught in the middle of political games. And we are grateful for the work that they are doing day in and day out. This legislation is about doing what's right, making sure those who show up every day to defend our homeland can count on the paycheck and that the American people know whose side we are on. Every time that anyone that votes against this bill in just an hour or so, that votes no on it, should be embarrassed to go past a TSA agent at the airport on the way here or home, knowing that they just voted to continue their lack of payment. This legislation ensures full funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Let me emphasize full funding. No area in Homeland Security should not be funded, including TSA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, known as CISA, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol, and U.S. Secret Service, FEMA, and the U.S. Coast Guard. Shutting down DHS over a fight of funding is wrong. This bill, our DHS bill, is just about $97 billion. The ICE portion of this is roughly 10%. So my colleagues on the other side are shutting down the entire department over a dispute of about 10% of the funding of this bill. Make no mistake, this is a Democrat shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. Give me all or you get nothing. Give me what I want or you get nothing. That is their posture. It's not complicated, Madam Speaker. Today we will see who votes to open it and who votes to close it. They can gaslight all they want, but the reality is that when they vote no, they will be voting to not pay our personnel. For 41 days now, the ongoing DHS shutdown has disrupted critical operations, impacted the livelihoods.
Give the gentleman an additional minute.
Impacted the livelihoods of dedicated personnel and weakened key components of our national security. This bill is a necessary step to restore stability, support our workforce, and ensure the safety of the American people. As of today, DHS employees have missed a full paycheck. 400 TSA agents have flat out quit, and you can't blame them for that. Due to staff shortages, security lines are longer, impacting travelers across the country. I've never supported a government shutdown of any kind, parking at the longest partial shutdown in history, followed in U.S. history, both caused by Democrats. Without immediate funding to DHS, these challenges will continue to escalate, further straining our workforce and jeopardizing our national security. Madam Speaker, I urge my colleagues to put hardworking Americans first by supporting my Pay Our Homeland Defenders Act, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Ciscomani is pushing something called the Pay Our Homeland Defenders Act, H.R. 8029. And honestly, the name says it all. This bill is about making sure the men and women working in agencies like the Transportation Security Administration, Border Patrol, ICE, FEMA, and the Coast Guard actually get paid for doing their jobs. You know, basic common sense. Think about that for a second. You show up to work every day. You protect airports. You guard the border. You respond to disasters. And Washington says, sorry, politics comes first. No paycheck for you. That's not just bad policy. That's disrespect. Now here's where things get heated. Ciscomani makes it clear this bill was bipartisan. Both sides had input. Both sides agreed. But now, he says Democrats are backing out. And according to him, they're willing to shut down the entire DHS. Over roughly 10% of the funding, mainly tied to ICE. So let's be clear. We're talking about a $97 billion bill, and the fight is over a fraction of it. And the result? National security agencies crippled. This is exactly the kind of political game Americans are sick of. Give me everything I want, or nobody gets anything. That's not leadership. That's hostage-taking. And the people paying the price? Not politicians. Not bureaucrats. It's the frontline workers. It's the TSA agents standing at security lines. It's the families waiting on paychecks. And the consequences are already happening. Asterisk workers missing paychecks. Asterisk around 400 TSA agents quitting. Asterisk airport lines getting longer. Asterisk security stretched thin. That's not theory. That's reality. Every delay, every security gap, that affects everyday Americans. Here's the bottom line. If you believe in strong borders, if you believe in national security, if you believe the people protecting this country deserve respect, then this shouldn't even be a debate. Pay them. Ciscomani said something powerful. Any lawmaker who votes against this bill should feel embarrassed walking past a TSA agent. And honestly, he's right. Because how do you look someone in the eye, knowing you just voted to keep them working without pay? This is bigger than one bill. This is about what kind of country we are. Do we support the people who protect us? Or do we let politics weaken our own security? Because when DHS is underfunded or shut down, it's not just a political issue. It's a national risk. At the end of the day, this should be simple. Fund the Department of Homeland Security. Pay the workers. Protect the country. Anything less, that's unacceptable. Let me know what you think in the comments. Backhand index pointing right. Should DHS workers ever go without pay? Backhand index pointing right. Who do you think is responsible for this situation? And if you want more breakdowns like this, real talk, no fluff, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay informed. Because the truth matters.